This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
PayPal lets you pay all your pals, like your graduation gifters.
Who's paying for the mattress topper?
You mean the beanbag chair?
Aren't we getting a mini fridge?
Can we create a pool on PayPal? It lets us collect the money before we buy.
Ooh, yes, that's smart.
Glad we can agree on something.
Easily pool, split, and send money with PayPal. Get started in the PayPal app. A PayPal account is required to send and receive money. A balance account is required to create a pool.
I've never felt like this before. It's like you just get me. I feel like my true self with you. Does that sound crazy? And it doesn't hurt that you're gorgeous. Okay, that's it. I'm taking you home with me. I mean, you can't find shoes this good just anywhere. Find a shoe for every you from brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, and more at your DSW store or DSW.com.
Catch the new Hulu original comedy Mid-Century Modern from the creators of Will and Grace, executive producer Ryan Murphy, and director James Burrows. When three best friends move in together, Palm Springs will never be the same. They're fun, they're fabulous, and they're turning life's lemons into spiked lemonade. Shake up a batch of cocktails, relax by the pool, and get ready for some serious shade. Mid-Century Modern stars Nathan Lane, Matt Bomer, Nathan Lee Graham, and Linda Lavin. All episodes of Mid-Century Modern are now streaming on Hulu.
Did you watch the Clippers? Oh, by the way,
yeah. When you texted me, I thought it was it's so stupid because it's final game of the season, final day of the season. They have no night games, and I forgot. So until you texted me about Clip Joint and Warriors,
yeah,
I had forgotten that they were playing. So then I went to it, and Steph was doing his thing, man.
It was.
Steph Curry's one of the coolest players in the history of any sport at any level.
It was ridiculous in some respects watching it yesterday. And Eastern Conference, I don't think there was a team that had anything to play for. I'm almost confident the entire slate.
Wow. If
you're an 8, et cetera.
Yeah.
That it was all set. So, if you're trying to put a prize picks lineup together, good luck with Donovan Mitchell and Kat and all those. All of them got the day off.
Well, I don't want to clip on you there, but you should know this by now because I didn't pay close enough attention to it. That when you know something like that and you're in the prize picks covenant, no, those are the days you make the most money. Because you're putting time in, and it takes time where you got to read, who the beat writers think are going to be out, and Quentin Grimes isn't going to play, so the Gerson Yobashibi, his minutes are going to be increased. I don't, I'm talking about, right?
I totally do. The issue.
That's how you crush, bruh.
Well, I was thinking about it yesterday, but then I'm just cruising through box scores.
Yeah, it was disease.
And so I'm totally with you. When you can find an angle like that, then you want to push on it. Mm-hmm. Except, how did I know that Josh Okogie was going to lead the Hornets in scoring yesterday? There was some of that too, where G League guys that or 10-day contract guys trying to fill out the bit, and
that's interesting
for some of these teams send the season to a screeching halt.
Yeah, I did not even think of that, man.
It's difficult to prognosticate that.
Well, see, now you got me on something here. Hold on.
Well, but it was a sports buffet yesterday because we're trying to just win a freaking game, Twins. Please do. And they do.
Yeah, so Magic and Hawks. Okay, so the way you laid things out, you're not going to get any Boncaro.
Correct.
Ban Boncaro. You're not going to get Franz Wagner. Okay, because I think they're in the play-in. And
they are, yeah. It's Hawks at Orlando tomorrow.
Okay, so these two teams are going to be this is juicy. Holy cow. Nothing. It may not bear any fruit like on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Which with, 3 young daughters, including, an infant.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get 45 straight minutes distraction free to do stuff like this all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Especially on a Sunday. But no Boncaro, no Franz Wagner. So now Atlanta, who are they going to sit? They're going to sit Trae Young. They'll sit Dyson Daniels. Those are their best 2 players. All right. So that means if you had Keaton Wallace.
Ooh.
Who the hell's Keaton Wallace? Okay, he went for 15 points, 15 assists, 11 rebounds, and 5 steals. I mean, Keaton Wallace on Prize Picks, his steals.
He's a lineup all on his own.
Had to be, I mean, it like over a half steal plus 690. I mean, he's Keaton Wallace. He had 5 of them. So now you go to the others. Hey, you know what? So they're not going to use, Jalen Suggs is hurt. They're not going to play Wagner. They're not going to play Banchero. So what's Anthony Black look like? 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals. I mean, yesterday it had to have been a Prize Pick bordello. I mean, you open the door, they line them up, you just take the cash.
Now, in fairness, LFL trained. You knew that Davion Mitchell was going to get a good run with the Heat yesterday, or Jaime Jaquez, or
now we're talking.
Or my favorite, Haywood
Highsmith. If Haywood, I'm not looking at the box score. And yesterday interested me minimally, except for the how, trying to beat Utah and get out that play in. And by the way, Dane Moore hit us with something I didn't know, and I got pissed off for a second.
Oh.
If the Wolves had the way things shook out.
Yeah.
And you know what? In fairness, Golden State and Denver and the Lakers and everybody else can play this game too. So if they want to play it on KFI, or if Greg Popple wants to play it on KNBR, or if Dave Logan wants to play it on KOA, go ahead and play it. We're playing it 9 to noon KFAN. If the Wolves had not blown that 20, and this is not, we don't have to go back to Washington, or we don't have to go months back. We can just go days back.
Like a week.
If the Wolves had not blown that 24-point lead in the second half to the Milwaukee Bucks, they would have had the 4 seed.
That's correct.
Home court advantage and played Denver. Are you kidding me?
It just drives me absolutely batty.
How the hell didn't we know that?
No, that's how close it was.
I didn't know that, but you never share, so you can keep the takes to yourself.
The 3rd seed Lakers, the team we're playing, they're a 50-win team.
Yeah.
We're not staring down the barrel of a 65-win team here. That's how close. That's how every single one of those wins, and in some cases, like you said, you don't have to go far back. Go back to leading by 20-plus points with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter against a Dameless Bucks team.
Wow.
That's only as far back as you have to go to realize how different this thing could have changed. And by the way, even with that, so you're going into yesterday.
Colby Jones on who's Colby Jones? 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists.
Well, he's paying mortgages is what he's doing.
On Prize Picks, and nobody's heard of him.
That's who Colby Jones is.
The Wizards started a guy named A.J. Johnson. They played him every minute of the game, 48 minutes. He went for 14 points, 8 assists. He had a steal. So this A.J. Johnson is so bad. They play him every minute of the game, and he comes up with meager numbers. I mean, seriously, yesterday in the NBA, what a freaking farce.
Yeah, Justin Champagny, Bub Carrington. Ooh, he played 48 minutes, A.J. Johnson.
Haywood Highsmith actually scored 12 points. I mean, honestly, go to his game logs, and unless there's playoff positioning or functioning tankability taking place, and I think the Heat is in the play-in, find me a double-digit scoring effort for Haywood Highsmith.
You got to go back a bit.
I mean, it's yes. I'm really glad you brought that up, because it just personifies in so many different ways. Oh, Haywood Highsmith had a double-digit game Friday against New Orleans, 10.
Oh, he's on a heater.
And then Wednesday, April 2nd, he had 10. Oh, all right, 3-2. Covenant cleanup provided by nobody. Haywood Highsmith's on fire. That's good to know into the play-in.
Ooh, brick.
Shot.
And pout. How about brick and pout?
Ooh.
Brick.
LeBron shot a brick. They pout. Yeah, see, you're better at this than me.
We'll figure it out.
Yankovic.
If the Clippers lose yesterday, the Minnesota Timberwolves have that matchup with the Nuggets. Now, when we were texting about it, because I know it sounded like, and I didn't know this at the time, you had
my home life.
You were.
Oh, go ahead. 3-2.
Everything is good. Yeah. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Deep breaths.
My kitchen was the A.J. Johnson of kitchens.
Cold cuts, though.
3-2.
you were in the Rory meat grinder, which turned out to be a finish at the Masters. It was fun to watch. Mm-hmm. The Clipper, you said, we would prefer I said that I would prefer the Nuggets to the Lakers. I think in a lot of ways, most people would agree. However, you also noted that since they fired Mike Malone in Denver, and you go, Adelman.
Yeah, David left me on red.
Because it's too. I mean, how good were those conversations? The elite. We were playing Sweet Georgia Brown.
When I was
Adelman rolls in,
bro. When I was in Denver, when Coley was a freshman or a sophomore in college, and I would do those shows from KOA. And the first one I did was, let's make it a Denver Covenant.
Yeah.
Let's have George Payton, general manager of the Broncos, joins us now. This guy joins us now. This guy, David Adelman, assistant for the Nuggets, joined the show. And so I texted him after they beat Sacramento, and I go, paraphrasing, because when he was here, I would chat with him all the time, man. He's super cool. Is weird circumstances, I understand, but congratulations on the victory. And hopefully many more to come for you as a head coach in the NBA. And it was the bit where it flipped over to red, fast.
You read it.
Never wrote back. Left me on red. Kicked me out of the chat.
Brian Saunders is still there too. So they got they got a little bit of T-Wolves Covenant out there in Denver. Mm-hmm. But you had mentioned that they were playing stronger. So the NBA playoffs, it does not reseed. So I don't know how far down the road you want to look, but there is an aspect. Beat the Lakers. That's the obvious part.
Beat LA.
Would you rather have to beat the Lakers and then it's going to be Houston and it's Memphis?
I couldn't care less.
See that you're in.
It's Luka and LeBron and human nature with the refs who are chicken bleep when it comes to making calls against LeBron specifically and or Luka when the crowd is loud. And you've been with me a long time, man. I mean, tennis coming up on 11 years. I am the last one who will put the focus on the referees into a game.
Yeah.
I'm not fixed game guy. I'm not, accusing people of purposely fixing games and committing felonies.
But there's a human element.
This is a fact of what I'm saying, and Con and I watch a lot of it, is referees, generally speaking, when the crowd is loud, no matter where it is, are afraid to make 50-50 calls against LeBron James.
Yeah.
In fact, they could be 60-40 LeBron foul, and they don't make them. They don't want to. They don't. Do they not want to deal with him? I'm not playing the Adam Silver via David Stern via Paul Tagliabue has laid out this edict. That market has to be in the NBA Finals. No, they print money. Okay, the NBA prints money with advertising, TV deals, and the whole thing. That ain't it. It's, do you want to be that guy in a nationally televised standalone game who potentially makes a bad call against LeBron? It's just the track record shows nobody wants to potentially be that guy.
Well, and I don't think, you picture the idea whether it's like the NBA draft is rigged and somebody's in the back room with Deloitte and Touche or KPMG and they're rigging the ping pong balls. At this stage, there doesn't have to be like a conspiracy email that goes out. Right. You know what I mean? It's become so ingrained as a star league, and you think about how this thing is set up, the amount of money that they are able to generate even overseas.
We're about doing a NBA official scandal, by the way. We're about doing one.
You think so?
Well, no, I'm sarcastically, it's tongue in cheek.
Not like a Tim Donaghy, but something
before Donaghy. Maybe you don't remember this. It was the 90s, maybe. So let's see. I started here in 98, so it'd be early 2000s ish. A bunch of NBA referees were admonished, suspended, and or fined. Why? Because they were taking their comped coach seats on commercial 3-2. They were taking their NBA provided first class seats on commercial flights.
Yeah.
And turning them in and keeping the difference and going back middle seat 23B for years. A lot of them, okay, for years. And then now that gets quiet.
I'm actually okay with that.
Right. Well, yeah, but you know what? If we're going to the combine and Emily squares away a first class seat and you're going to move back to 23B and pocket 350, you going to feel good about that?
Well, no.
See what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Even as I said it, I was just thinking like if like my wife would travel to China many times, she gets to keep her miles.
Target prints money. I would do it if I were her.
Oh, print a little bit more, please.
Here I am. You said the name. I said the company. Seriously, can we mess up any more? Okay, 3-2. So then the first class bit, that's a big, loud story. It's a thing. It's like, I don't know if people went to jail or not, but it was loud. Go ahead and Google it. And then things get quiet for a little bit. Oh, well, this guy's fixing games. Donaghy.
Yeah.
So then that popped up.
That's true.
Well, then, now I guess it's been chill for a little while. But this is an unprovable situation, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Human nature of an individual afraid to eyeball immortality, HOF immortality, in a standalone National Basketball Association playoff game and call a foul. It's foul-la. We're talking foul-za.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what's the chain reaction from this? Coach gets frustrated. Coach gets T. Other team gets a point. Other team gets the ball. Now it's turned into 3. Oh, superstar player's pissed off. He gets a T. That's another point. It's a trickle-down effect that just happens in LeBron James games.
No, it's a good point. I will say this. The Lakers with LeBron have in the last 3-4 years, they've lost in the first round a couple times. So they're not impenetrable.
That's a good point.
In that regard.
Just kind of put me in the box.
So adding Luka to it and just how these things, and I know, we're going to talk kind of, especially throughout the week in terms of more to,
I need you to
what
add
does
up,
Reeves mean?
I need you to add up the fouls differential between the Lakers and every other team in the NBA since LeBron James has been there, but only in the fourth quarter. Go ahead and get your stat head off Basketball Reference. What if you got that text at 2:30 in the afternoon?
I'm going to get my subscriptions worth for
Where's
sure.
the set list? No, I'm sorry, I forgot to send it, but I need you to do this.
Well, let me just hit you at 8:53 with that monster. We're going to open with it. No, I'm with you on the human element 100%. I think it factors into this series. And so, but then bringing it kind of back to the hardwood in terms of the play itself.
Yeah.
This is kind of a juicy, fun matchup.
Hell yeah.
And from, your conversation.
LeBron series are the bomb.
Exactly. And who's defending who and, Jaden McDaniels, guys like that. Mm-hmm. Dane hit on Mike Conley. I mean, they're going to be, we know about Ant. We know about Randall. Randall facing a team he was drafted by. We'll get
Vanderbilt versus his former team.
Vanderbilt
sucked Edwards into that technical that got him suspended for the Utah game, which the Wolves lost by 1. And I'm convinced of this. And if I'm JJ Redick, I do the same thing too. Guys, Jared, you know him better than anybody. You flew on planes with him. You rode on buses with him. You know what triggers Anthony Edwards. Let's get him thrown out of the game. He's 23, he's immature, and he can't control his temper.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt was on him from like second number 1, trying to goad him into things. Here, Auntie, and Edwards took the cheese, and he got suspended.
I'm kind of glad with those texts resetting. I mean, even though it was rescinded, just little moments like that. Let's see how Ant, once the chips are down and the series starts. Even though the technical from the previous game was rescinded, he was not suspended for yesterday's game.
Yep.
Like, how's he going to handle himself in those moments? And at times when he was being doubled last playoffs, and we talked about how Dallas handled him at times, and how he was, he had to mature in terms of learning how to fight through those, get himself open. A-class example would be what Steph Curry was doing late in yesterday's game. I mean, the dude's, 35. He's got a bum finger, the whole thing.
Jimmy Butler's proving to be an L on that team, but anyway.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's getting to be a little L-ish.
No, it's
with his pouting. He's not getting the ball enough.
Dude, I think it's a problem for them right now.
But Draymond Green yelled at him during the game.
Steph sprinting circles around the half court, just trying to get one shot with 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, he's a baby.
And then it's just splashing down. He turns around. He knows he made it before it even touches the net. It's
shoulder shake.
He thought it was over when they were up 4 or 5.
Yeah. He's one of the most likable and coolest players in the history of all sports, Steph Curry.
So the playoffs are here. It's going to be a blast, man.
Oh, wow. Looking at the ESPN ticker while in the 651 Carpets Plus studios. The New Orleans Pelicans have fired their general manager. Like, that's going to help. When we return, we have a little bit more on the Lakers and the Timberwolves, something yours truly crafted this morning. And we have some big NFL Vikings draft party related news we would like to share on the Fan.
The Fan, along with BigDeck.com, want to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. Use the keyword bank at KFAN.com. KFAN.com. The keyword is bank. Your chance to win $1,000.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. When Dr. Sabah and I decided to do a skincare line together, he said to me, we are going to give women meaningful beauty. And I said, that's exactly right. We want to give women meaningful beauty, which means each and every product is meaningful. It has a reason to exist. It's efficacious. You're going to get results. And then you just go out and live your life.
Meaningful Beauty. Confidence is beautiful. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
PayPal lets you pay all your pals, like your graduation gifters.
Who's paying for the mattress topper?
You mean the beanbag chair?
Aren't we getting a mini fridge?
Can we create a pool on PayPal? It lets us collect the money before we buy.
Ooh, yes, that's smart.
Glad we can agree on something.
Easily pool, split, and send money with PayPal. Get started in the PayPal app. A PayPal account is required to send and receive money. A balance account is required to create a pool.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
What do we think about this first round pairing for the Hal? Yes, we discussed a couple of these things last segment, tangential as it was, but that's what we do. We preferred Denver, didn't get it, so we have to move on. Now, dealer's choice tomorrow with the old talkbacks at the free iHeartRadio app, okay? It's a con creation. We feel we implemented and executed the game plan beautifully. The one time we did it as your sports audio leader in the entire upper Midwest, but then we got clipped with guests and stuff like that, and we didn't do it. So dealer's choice returns tomorrow. I believe the scribe is the only guest, and he's in the middle of the radio show for a couple. So dealer's choice tomorrow with the talkbacks. This will be part of the verbal subject matter. The Timberwolves and the glitzy Los Angeles Lakers. But first, before I get to that, so I don't forget, because I am tangential. How about this doozy? Show us your purple preset. It's a social media contest for Vikings draft party tickets. Got to hook up Nick Madden here, all right? We don't have to. We choose to.
Yes.
Show us your purple preset. It's a social media contest for Vikings draft party tickets. Please listen closely. Take a screenshot of KFAN as the preset on your iHeartRadio app. Post the screenshot on your social media channel. Channels. Tag at KFAN1003 and use hashtag KFAN Purple Preset. Winners will be drawn daily, and then we will see you at the Roar for 24 at U.S. Bank Stadium. KFAN.com, assumedly, to learn more about that. Back to the lesson at hand. Is it a cinch, the Timberwolves? I mean, just start thinking about this for the Dealer's Choice talkbacks tomorrow. Is it a cinch that the Timberwolves will not get those 50-50 calls due to the cachet of LeBron James and Luka Doncic? Or is it just something I mean, when Finch joins this week, I'm not sure of the Finchy day yet, but it will happen. I'm going to bring this up to him, but maybe not as direct, because I know Finchy's going to talk to this about his team. Yeah, I know that to be fact, but I don't know how he's going to talk, because coaches don't want it to be an overriding bit, because then the kids get all brain muddled. So how do we put fouls on them and reverse the freak out factor? How do the Timberwolves put fouls on them, and let's just reverse the old freak out factor? Because Dane Moore touched on it a little bit earlier. They don't have a player who can guard Anthony Edwards. They just don't. So J.J. Redick's smart. He's new to coaching. Finch had him when Chris was an assistant for the Nolans Pelicans. So Chris knows J.J. quite well. And J.J. obviously knows Chris quite well. But there's just no way does J.J. Redick let Anthony Edwards wreck this series.
Right.
So that's going to be a double. And Dane Moore was playing so fast today. At Dane Moore NBA via Twitter. He has a podcast that I'll watch. And his NBA takes, man, just for my taste, were just so on point on a Monday for a series that starts on a Saturday. But he's like, Edwards' best shot has become the walk-up three. Where he starts crossing over with the ball. He's jab stepping a little bit, but he just kind of walks up to a three and bam. Because you don't want to get posterized off the dribble, so you back up a little bit and he hits the three. And he led the NBA in the most threes made this season. So Redick ain't having any of that. It's when we start watching this series, 7:30 Central, or listen to it on KFAN, depending on if the hockey team's playing or not, I would imagine. But let's see how violently and quickly Redick and the Lakers double Anthony Edwards. Because, again, they don't have a player who can guard Ant. They just don't. So perhaps for Anthony, hitting the most threes of anybody in the game is not the correct route of attack as an underdog playing the LA Lakers. And here's why. They have to double. He has to pass. We have to hit shots. That's it. It's simplistic, but it's coming. I'm just telling you, it's coming. They have to double, and a lot, specifically on the perimeter. Anthony's a really good passer, man. When Anthony's dialed in, he's good at everything. He's a really good passer. And now the ancillary guys got to hit shots. Julius Randle's passing in this series is going to be supremely key. Because here we are where, when that trade went down, whether you liked it or didn't like it, for what it's worth, for my personal taste, is I cast the gaze ahead to moments like this. And, the bulldog factor or the perceived dog factor, who's tougher and why, in certain situations, that's going to bear its fruit. And Julius Randle he's had some poor moments in the postseason with the New York Knicks, but he hasn't been there a ton either. It's this, when I said I was a fan of this trade, because I've always had a high level of respect for Julius Randle's game. DiVincenzo, younger, got a little wild card to him, young in his career, bounced around to 3 teams already. But this is the time where I've just had this feeling, and I've shared it a little bit on the radio show, and we'll see if it's right, that in playoff basketball, where it's a half-court game and things slow down, and it ain't racehorse basketball, and each possession is magnified, good luck stopping Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. Because they both beat you from the outside. One guy's left-handed, which is a bastard approach to the majority of players in the NBA who are right-handed. So you got to check it, and sometimes it gets a little awkward for people. But he's so strong that I can envision Redick having Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. Some L is going to be in front of him. They're going to try to draw him into charges. They're going to have enough time this week to watch. He's going to do this from the wing, elbow line extended. We're going to single him because we have to, because of the guy over there who hit all the threes. And they're going to try to set up charges, and they're going to hope they get the calls, because that's a good way to play Julius, and not many people played him that way this year. But if they don't get him, and then a double comes on Julius, again, double Julius, high-end passer. Other guys have to hit shots. That's so key this series. I just, ever since they made that move for Randall and DiVincenzo, I've just been dreamy about the isolation game and the pick and roll game with Randall and Edwards, because Randall handles the ball. When Karl Anthony Towns dribbles, with all due respect, hide the women and children. That's not the case with Julius Randle, and that's what needs to bear its fruit beginning this Saturday. So all of these questions are for the talkback machine tomorrow with Dealer's Choice. There's more. Is pushing the pace versus these guys the right answer? LeBron's old and Luka gets tired in a minute. Does DiVincenzo need to play more than Mike Conley? And does that need to be the case every game? More burst, better defender. Mike's a better quarterback. Mike runs the offense better. Something to think about. Gobert is the biggest key of all players in the series. And we will share why tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. When Dr. Sabah and I decided to do a skincare line together, he said to me, we are going to give women meaningful beauty. And I said, that's exactly right. We want to give women meaningful beauty, which means each and every product is meaningful. It has a reason to exist. It's efficacious. You're going to get results. And then you just go out and live your life.
Meaningful Beauty. Confidence is beautiful. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
PayPal lets you pay all your pals, like your graduation gifters.
Who's paying for the mattress topper?
You mean the beanbag chair?
Aren't we getting a mini fridge?
Can we create a pool on PayPal? It lets us collect the money before we buy.
Ooh, yes, that's smart.
Glad we can agree on something.
Easily pool, split, and send money with PayPal. Get started in the PayPal app. A PayPal account is required to send and receive money. A balance account is required to create a pool.
Catch the new Hulu original comedy, Mid-Century Modern, from the creators of Will and Grace, executive producer Ryan Murphy, and director James Burrows. When three best friends move in together, Palm Springs will never be the same. Bunny, Jerry, and Arthur are already close friends. But when they decide to live together, it's a new chapter with a new family. And speaking of family, don't forget Bunny's mom, Sybil, who's along for the ride. Whether it's a trip to Fire Island or a local congresswoman with a wild side, these roomies know how to do it with style. They're fun, they're fabulous, and they're turning life's lemons into spiked lemonade. So shake up a batch of cocktails, relax by the pool, and get ready for some serious shade. A new comedy with heart, soul, and sass. Mid-Century Modern stars Nathan Lane, Matt Bomer, Nathan Lee Graham, and Linda Lavin. All episodes of Mid-Century Modern are now streaming on Hulu.
Be right.
Fan.
I can't wait until tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow.
All right, we're up against it. Thank you very much for listening to 9 to Noon today. And we can't wait to chat with you tomorrow when we all rise and shine at 9. I'm Paul Allen. From the 651 Carpets Plus studios, here comes Big Daddy Khan to put that wrap on the show.
Good stuff.
The game is over.
And that's a fact.
We're coming.
It's a Motown Monday. We're smelling the potpourri, a lot of working parts in this daily jamboree. We're playing real music. Better fade out fast. My next half hour is going to be trimming the podcast. But to heck with the music label nerds. It was good hearing songs that actually had words, except for Charge. He doesn't care about music rights. He listens to instrumental soundtracks like Friday Night Lights. Now the Wolves, they're locked into the 6. They're taking on the Lakers, fresh from the river Styx. Can't escape Luka and that ageless LeBron. Can't wait for the blaming the referees-a-thon. Get over the hump in a Grand Slam story. This is a moment for Rory. The Twins forever a franchise in flux, and the Wild just need a point against the crappy Ducks.
The Duke is on fire.
PayPal lets you pay all your pals, like your graduation gifters.
Who's paying for the mattress topper?
You mean the beanbag chair?
Aren't we getting a mini fridge?
Can we create a pool on PayPal? It lets us collect the money before we buy.
Ooh, yes, that's smart.
Glad we can agree on something.
Easily pool, split, and send money with PayPal. Get started in the PayPal app. A PayPal account is required to send and receive money. A balance account is required to create a pool.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, Janice Torres here.
And I'm Austin Hankwitz.
We're the hosts of Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories, produced by Ruby Studio and Intuit QuickBooks. Catch up on seasons 1 and 2 and join us for a brand new season of the podcast as we talk to small business owners about how they manage and grow their businesses with the help of platforms like Intuit QuickBooks.
Listen to Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Amazon One Medical presents Painful Thoughts.
Do they ever actually clean the ball pit at these kids' play gyms? Or is my kid just swimming in a vat of bacteria, catching whatever cootie of the day is breeding in there? A cootie that'll probably take down our whole family.
Luckily, with Amazon One Medical 24/7 virtual care, you can get checked out for whatever ball pititis you've contracted. Amazon One Medical. Healthcare just got less painful.